A girl who time-traveled stole my identity and became a princess, living her best life in total luxury. Meanwhile, she kept me around as her personal servant. She became the most beloved princess in the Durrang dynasty, and she had me turned into a military comfort woman. I was brutally abused and died. When I opened my eyes again, me and the time traveler were brought before the Empress for a blood lineage test. But this time I could hear her thoughts. Add alum to the water and any blood will mix together.
So what if she's the real princess?
One little trick and all that glory is mine. I was still trying to figure out my next move when I looked up and saw the Empress staring at me with this eerily calm look. No need for the test, she's the real princess. Your Highness, your servant has brought both girls to you. Eunuch Lu's familiar creepy voice rang out. I snapped back to reality. When I looked up, I caught the Empress's eyes. But only for a split second. I immediately looked away. The excitement building inside me made my body start to tremble. I was reborn, and I came back at age 8. The day Eunuch Lu brought me and Xu Minji to the palace for the blood test. In my past life, I kept my head down the whole time, scared out of my mind. Meanwhile, Xu Minji was surprisingly poised and confident. Even without the blood test, anyone would have assumed I was the maid, and she was the one in charge. And that's exactly how it played out. At the blood test, my blood, the real princess's blood, wouldn't mix with the emperor's. But Xu Minji's blood mixed perfectly, and just like that, she became the princess. It wasn't until I was on the verge of death that Xu Minji told me herself that I was the real princess all along, and she was someone who traveled here from another world. Just a native of some feudal dynasty. Even if you got another shot at life, you still can't beat me. This girl from another world. I was still thinking it over when Eunuch Lu spoke up again. Your Highness, your servant has a suggestion. Since both girls have birthmarks, why not do a blood lineage test? I instantly clenched my fist. That blood test was exactly what destroyed me in my past life. Then I heard Xu Minji's voice. A blood test? How primitive. But hey, this is actually my chance. Add alum to the water and any blood will mix together.
So what if she's the real princess?
One little trick and everything is mine. I glanced over at Xu Minji, making sure she hadn't actually said anything out loud. As for the Empress and Eunuch Lu, it was like they hadn't heard a thing. Just as I was trying to figure out what was going on, I looked up and caught the Empress giving me this super controlled, piercing stare. No need for the test, she's the real princess. And I wasn't the only one shocked. Even Xu Minji was stunned. Could it be that the Empress? Then, I heard Xu Minji's voice again. What is going on? This old witch just said no test needed? No way, I need to think of something. She has to do the blood test. I was certain Xu Minji hadn't said a word. What I heard was actually her thoughts. At that moment, Eunuch Lu also spoke up. Your Highness, finding the true princess is a matter of great importance. It's best we verify. How dare you? I am her mother. Are you saying I can't recognize my own daughter? If I say she's the princess, she is. Xu Minji, ignoring the risk, dropped to her knees with a thud and spoke with full respect. Your Highness, I believe the eunuch makes a fair point. Finding the princess is no small matter. To silence any doubt, a blood test would be most appropriate. Please reconsider, Your Highness. The Empress said nothing, just quietly stared at her. While I studied Xu Minji carefully, from the very beginning in my past life, she always came across smarter than me in every way, and handled things way better than I ever did. On top of that, claiming the title of the Emperor and Empress's only daughter. After the blood test, Xu Minji was named Princess Jiahe, and because of a brilliant poem she wrote showing off her talent, the Emperor's love for her just hit an all-time high. Back then I didn't get it, but now thinking about it. An 8-year-old girl, no matter how smart can she really be? But if an 8-year-old's body is housing the soul of a full-grown woman, and she's from another world on top of that, suddenly everything makes sense. And what if I still say no? I knew it. If the Empress refused, Xu Minji would just find another way. Besides, Xu Minji had a point. Even if the Empress claimed I was her daughter, the court officials might not accept me as the princess. So I knelt down, bold and composed. Please, Your Highness, allow us to do the blood test. The Empress looked at me and quietly tightened her fist. After a long silence, she said, Fine. Xu Minji and I were quickly brought to the main hall. The eunuch took 2 bowls of clear water from a palace maid and set them in front of us. Then a young eunuch pricked the Emperor's finger and dropped 1 drop of blood into each bowl. I saw Xu Minji about to step forward, but I moved first. I bit my own finger and squeezed out a drop of blood, dropping it into the bowl she was going for. Everything happened so fast that Xu Minji just froze. What is your problem? That bowl was mine! I said nothing, keeping my cool, standing right there. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught the Emperor's brow twitch ever so slightly. By then, the 2 drops of blood had already merged. Every single court official let out a gasp. They mixed! I knew it. She's too stunning not to be a princess. Called it! Only a real princess could carry that kind of royal aura. I forced myself to hold back the eye roll, just a bunch of shameless bootlickers. In my past life, they said the exact same things about Xu Minji. I quietly looked over at Xu Minji. Your turn. Xu Minji clenched her jaw. She held out her hand and let the eunuch prick her finger, blood dripping into the bowl. You could tell she was nervous, but the result crushed her. The 2 drops didn't mix. This time, Xu Minji completely lost it. Tears just streamed down her face. But she held it together and silently dropped to her knees, joining the court officials in cheering, Congratulations, Your Majesty, on welcoming back the princess. But deep down, she was absolutely seething. Just wait, so what if you're the princess? With what I've got, I'll still grind you into the dirt. That night, the Empress held me tight, crying and apologizing. I'm so sorry. Sure, it's all my fault. Don't worry. This time, I will protect you. I was certain the Empress had been reborn too. In my past life, after the blood test, I was supposed to be given 100 taels of silver and sent away from the palace, but Shu Minji stopped that from happening. She batted her big innocent eyes, snuggling up to the Empress like a little kid. Mother, in this palace, other than father and you, I don't know anyone, and I feel a real connection with her. Why not let her stay by my side? She wanted to keep tabs on me, and keeping me close was the easiest way. After all, what could be more fun than tormenting someone who should have been a princess? So that's how it went. I became her personal servant, pouring tea, running errands, and getting beat on whenever she felt like it. The lowest of the low in the Imperial Palace. This time around, Shu Minji was supposed to be sent out of the palace too. But the very next day, the Empress Dowager personally showed up at the Empress's chambers with Shu Minji. I really like this girl. She shares the exact same birthday as Shu'er. How about we let her stay as Shu'er's companion? What do you think, Empress? I didn't even need to read Shu Minji's mind. I could already guess exactly what she was scheming. Nothing more than using this chance to stay inside the palace, and then, when the time was right, take everything that was mine. Someone even the palace eunuchs looked down on.